Good morning, good day, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is the Bobbi Jo and the Sheena Show. Today we're coming to you just two women having a conversation, mindset coaches, and just sharing and growing the community in the world to let others know that, there's a way of having this piece of freedom, and it's the conditioning and the programming of our mind that keeps us trapped from yesterday into today, and having new ideas to grow, and so that we can start changing our lives and going in the way that we want. Sheena, what do you have to say today, my love?
It's quite a big one, but it seems so easy, but actually it can almost be the one that trips you up. And it's about total acceptance of everything.
Mm,
Panache, as I said today, about total, actually, Bobbi Jo, you have the phrase there. I'll let you read
I
it.
will. The more inclusive I am of everything, the more free I am.
And I really feel that it's just, and what that means is the non-judgment of things. Because so many times we're literally judging, this is wrong and this is right. And whenever you realize that here's a situation and it is just what the situation is, it has no meaning. But then we come in with all our knowledge. And where's our knowledge come from? Yesterday, the day before, 20 years ago, 10,000 years ago. And that is literally infiltrating what today is. And it's nothing to do with any of that. It just is. It's minding its own business. It's a situation, but you come in and you judge it as bad. But the
Hmm.
same situation could be judged as good. So when people say like, oh, it's a shame he died or somebody died, actually, I say, well, they're freer than us. Oh, you're mourning for yourself. You're not mourning for them. They're the ones who are absolutely free. And so if we can start to take a positive spin on everything that we've got, then we will get a positive outcome and we set ourselves free. Can you feel the difference in that? Thinking of,
Yes.
like my horse died. My horse died earlier on this year of bless him, I had him for 20 years. But what I saw was my tears were tears of love. And what I saw was him galloping across the field completely free and out of that stiff body he was in. And
Hmm.
my tears weren't of sadness. My tears were of complete joy and complete love and celebration of the whole life that I was privileged to have with him. Why can't we do that with a human? Why do we have to, not see that they're now free out of whatever limited body that they're in? But it's not just people and death. I'm talking about just any situation that you can go, okay, this happened. If I see it as negative, then you will have a negative outcome and you try to fix it. Now, the
Yes.
world can't be fixed on the outside because the world is an effect. The world is an effect. And if we try to make an effect a cause, then we just end up with like a Russian doll effect going down. But what if we had a new idea about this and go, well, this is positive. I have no flipping clue how, why, but I know it's positive. I know that this is a positive thing and it's supposed to happen because it did happen. Well, then I set myself free. I'm not weighed down by doubts, shame, guilt, all
Mm.
of that. Now I can rise. Can anybody feel that? Like, comment in the box or whatever if you can literally feel, wow, well, I don't know what this is for. It has to be for the greater good. Otherwise, it
Yeah.
wouldn't have happened because life is always for good.
Yeah. I think it's the collective consciousness of our cultural paradigm. Where we grow up and great grandma and grandpa died, and it's like, oh, everyone's just so sad. And it's a way of having this awareness, a way of having a different perception, a way of viewing our lens that this isn't a bad thing. We're spiritual beings, and this is a hard thing to, it doesn't mean you have to be religious, but the facts are that we are religious beings, just like, don't they say that when they weigh the body and when you die, nothing changes, you're still the same weight? But that how it's about learning to see something and how can I learn from this. So we think something's bad, it's just a perception. So Maverick, her horse died after 20, being with you 20 years, and it is, or a great grandma died, or your mom dies, and it's like, that is so sad. It is horrible, and I'm sorry if anyone goes through that. But again, it's just a perception. You go, what can I learn from this? Maybe you have to learn to live life more fully, knowing that, yeah, we too are going to die. It is coming, and why does it have to be a doomsday that's counting off? I just read an article this morning by Betsy Grady, and she's going to be speaking of the Unity at the Spiritual Center, and she does Akashic Records. And she read something that it was an article of saying, like, a woman was saying she had 7 summers left in her life that she thought about. She must be in her 80s, this lady, not Betsy, but another lady. So isn't that a weird way to look at something? Instead of 7 years, but you have 7 summers. Doesn't it make you just want to absorb the moment and go, oh my God, 7 summers left? So ideally at 54, 60, 70, 80, I'll say I have 40 summers left. How do I want to enjoy those summers? You still coming over? For those of you who don't know, Sheena came over the pond here from the UK for a whole month. That's why we're off the grid for a whole month of August. We have not been here, but now we're back, and it was just wonderful to see my best friend over here. And she had so many firsts, but we'll go in that into another time. But we're back to the acceptance and the non-judgment of what you think something should look like. And then we should tie it up. I don't have a little counter on here today, Sheena. I like it when we do
Oh yeah, I'm just
the
looking.
other
I have no clue what time we started either, but I'm sure it's 5 or 10 minutes in
Yeah.
anyway.
We want to keep it at 5 or 10 minutes because we have so much to say, and we want you to tune in every day to listen. Just have these little mind shifts every day. And it's like hiking Everest. It's just one foot in front of the other. And a year from now, after listening to us, you're going to grow. You're going to see things a little bit differently. And the first time you'd be like, what? What are these girls talking about? But yes, we've got the truth here and a peace of mind and freedom. And today it's about acceptance. Today it's about the non-judgment of something and the way you look at it. And that's just something I spoke about this past weekend about the whole Oponopono. And I said that, I go into the spiritual center and, maybe the fans are on different settings and we have this judgment constantly like, why are they on that setting? Why is that sign up or not this way? Why is that homeless person doing this? Like we have judgments all the time and we can go off, as you can see, like, woo, all over directions. But it's about the acceptance, about the awareness in our mind about what you're having the judgment about. And is it even friggin' true? I have a judgment about my husband smoking cigarettes and he just tried to quit again for the whatever time, this past weekend because I am in my head, smoking is bad. That's what we've been conditioned to think. And yes, it is. But then how can other people smoke till they're 90 and live and pack a day? Are they doing it with guilt? Are they doing it with fear? Are they just friggin' loving that cigarette? And that's it. It's the energy behind it. If you're going, oh my God, I'm going to die of this, guess what's going to happen? But if you're just friggin', my best way I'm living my life right now, people, and just keep smoking it, I bet you live longer than I do. What do you think, Sheena?
Oh, absolutely. It's all perception. I mean, we could look at the same subject and, everybody around the world, there would be 8 billion different perceptions on that subject. So that means it's not true because truth and what is real is true for everybody. And so it's the same as that, like the word God, you've got 8 billion different perceptions of that word. So
Yeah.
what is true about it? What is true? And the answer is it's only what's true for you is true for you. There's no point in arguing with anybody because if it's true for them, if they want to argue it, then it's true for them. Let it be true. Why do you have to be right? Why does it have to be your perception? Why can't you maybe seek to understand their perception and maybe take it on board, or at least don't reject it? You don't need to accept it, but you can also just go, it just is. That's the way you see it. I don't
Yeah.
see it that way, but doesn't mean we have to argue over it. So
No.
when I was talking to my friend yesterday and we're talking about saying to somebody, I love you, and what came out of my mouth was just like, listen, total acceptance is unconditional love. Make
Mm.
no mistake, it's not about loving anybody else. It's about loving yourself unconditionally, and that sets you free. So
Yeah.
total acceptance is your unconditional love. Can you do that today? Can you?
Yeah. Acceptance of my love for my husband, accepting him the way he is, whether he smokes or doesn't smoke. Because the only harm I'm really doing and going is towards myself. He's doing it, So acceptance of all, acceptance for what it is, and it's a lot freeing in the mind to let go of that control. So why don't you tune into us tomorrow? We're going to be talking about. I'm just going to throw it out there. Sheena doesn't have no idea, but perception. We maybe talked about it before, but again, it's perception's a good one. We're going to give you some tools on how you can maybe change your perception because if it's the program in our subconscious mind, with the input, the output, you have no control of your perception. You don't even know it, but the awareness will get you there. So tune in tomorrow and we'll talk about perception. And as for today, think about what you're thinking about there, that acceptance of yourself, acceptance of what's going on. And is it even true?
See you next time.
Tomorrow. Have a great one.